What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now. I'm Alex. In this video, I want to talk again about the new Batman Arkham game and talk about if it could be announced at the Game Awards 2019. Now, we've made a lot of videos talking about Batman. We've made even a video last week talking about Sony's State of Play. I'll talk about that a little bit to kind of back me up or to kind of lead into this discussion. But yes, another video talking about it. But first, before I really jump into this, I firstly want to really honestly thank all of you guys who have been supporting us and who have been subscribing and who have been watching these Batman videos. You guys are absolutely awesome. I'm so happy we have such a new big community of you guys joining Podcast Now. It really does make me very, very happy. Secondly, I don't make these videos to get false anticipation, false hope for you guys. I know there's some people in the comments that say that. I mean, it's just me discussing it. It's just me being excited about it. I'm not saying things that I'm not like leaking things. I'm not making up things. It's just literally a discussion. Okay, I'm not coming up with a fake heading or whatever. So I just wanted to say that up front as well. So Batman, the new Batman game. Well, we've talked about it a lot. We've talked about when it could happen. Obviously, August has come and gone, and I believe the video I did last week was before the end of August. So now we've officially gone through August. August is done. The big month of August that was promised to us or said from Warner Bros. Montreal that never, nothing happened. I'm really hopeful that they really, animated that Batman suit. They really got the leather to be just right or whatever they did in the animation or directing or script department or whatever. I really hope they had an awesome August because from a announcement wise, we got absolutely nothing. And we just got more disappointment, right? A lot of things came and went. And while there are other opportunities, and we talked about that, here's the thing. I don't want to sound like I'm going mad, but I had a dream last night that Batman Arkham was announced, and I texted Tyler and I said the game is actually real now. So I feel like my internal mind is really starting to deteriorate and fall apart and really want this game even more than I can possibly actually imagine because I'm literally now having dreams about it, which I haven't had previously. But at the same point, here's the deal. It still honestly could be announced at any point, any day now, literally. It could just come out. I mean, not actually released to the public, but it could be announced. I truly do believe that is a distinct possibility. At the same time, maybe it's Sony's State of Play. We talked about that. Rumor has it Sony's State of Play will be November 1st, and they're going to announce a couple new games. They'll talk about The Last of Us 2's release date. So it'll be a really big State of Play. We talked about that in the last video. Okay, now that's a distinct possibility. We know there's connections from Sony also to Arkham and to just Warner Bros. In general. The E3 conferences have matched up with that in the past as well. At the same time, we also know Arkham City's connection with Jeff Keighley, okay, and that's and by that measure, also Warner Bros. Okay, Warner Bros. Has a distinct connection to Jeff Keighley. They first announced Arkham City there. Now, Arkham Knight, as well as Arkham Origins, was actually announced at E3, although Arkham Origins was leaked long before that in kind of the springtime. So we do have a connection with Jeff Keighley and Arkham City, and that's honestly been the thing that I've been talking about for now about a year in terms of Warner Bros. To Jeff Keighley. And I just can't help but think that I mean, here's the thing. It has to be December, right? And by that, I mean, let's say, okay, I mean, Sony's State of Play is a distinct possibility. It honestly could just get announced at any day. A random Monday in November, let's say, it could just get announced. It honestly has all those possibilities. But December has got to be the cutoff, right? Because it's been so long that we've been hopeful for a game. And we know that there's canceled games, and people will say that whatever game they were making on is canceled. We know there's been that's what I don't understand. We know there's been canceled games. We know that they've canceled multiple games, but this game, this Arkham game, and I keep saying Arkham, I guess technically it's just a DC game. We know they're making a DC game. I truly believe it's an Arkham game. I don't know if people's expectations for that have dropped because of that Arkham Knight sequel that got canceled, but that's got nothing to, I mean, I think it's gotten morphed from that. I think they were originally doing something like that, but it ended up becoming what it is now. It's still an Arkham game. I truly do believe that. So I just want to get that out of there as well. At the end of the day, it's got to be before December or earlier, or we're going to have some very, very serious questions, more than we even have now, because at this point, it's like 2018 came and went. We had leaks for Insurgency. We also, I believe, had Crisis back then, or Crisis was even in early 2019. And then 2019, the year of Batman, which has been stated, and there were many pictures on their social media, Warner Bros. Montreal, indicating and kind of hinting at the Court of Owls. Lots of things, lots of hints that 2019 is going to be the year. And I think a lot of people jumped to 2019 was going to be the year we got the game. Obviously, by now, that is completely blown out of the water. 2019 at this point is the year that hopefully we get an announcement for the game, and then 2020 is when we get it. But the longer they wait, the more this game does become that cross between current and next gen. Now, one of our people, one of the subscribers, one of the people that watch this videos has pointed out that on their website, their job listings and their job like kind of descriptions, they're making a current gen game. At least that's what it says. Now, I mean, that could be changed at any given moment. They could literally tomorrow change it and take that even away, and we would and most people would not even know that was ever there, right? So it doesn't have to be for current gen. I think at the worst, if this game keeps getting pushed back, then it's like a dual release where it is a current gen game, but also can come out on next generation, Xbox Scarlet, PS5. I mean, is that possible? Yeah, I do think the plan just from the beginning was to get it out before next generation. Batman in general has almost completely missed this generation. I mean, it had Arkham Knight, but that's it. That's all it had. It like besides Arkham Knight, there is nothing. And I would say Warner Bros. Warner Bros. Is a publisher for a lot of different games. They're obviously going to have Cyberpunk 2077, but Warner Bros. Montreal has completely missed this generation. So if there is no Arkham, whatever this game's called, on current gen, they missed the entire generation of the PS4, Xbox One, which I think is kind of sad and honestly a little pathetic. And now I know a lot of things have happened. I understand that there's been just a ton of things that have gone on behind the scenes that we don't even know about. It's very hard to judge them on that. And I'm not, I don't want to pick on them. I think they're a very, very talented group, and I know that ultimately, the Arkham Origins was a divided game. I think a lot of people think that it's better than some of the the main Rocksteady ones. I also think some people do look at it and say, it doesn't really count. I think there's both. But at the same point, I really do think Arkham Origins was a phenomenal game. I think a game that did a lot of things right and some ways did things better than the other three. I think the other three are ultimately better than Arkham Origins, but not by much. I think Arkham Origins is a phenomenal game. So that's, again, just kind of an aside. At the end of the day, the Game Awards, Jeff Keighley, this is the time because there's really no other time. If you wait into 2020, if it's not announced at the Game Awards, then what? Then what? It's an E3 2020 game, like announcement, and at that point, can it really come out in the fall? I feel like the situation is, if it does not get announced December or earlier this year, it's not even coming out in 2020. Because if it gets announced at E3 of 2020, I don't see how it comes out that fall. Maybe it does. I think a lot of games are going to kind of be those stealth launches or stealth releases and announcements where they get announced, and then a couple months later they're out because it's PS5, Xbox Scarlet time, next generation. They can get it on maybe for both consoles. Maybe they've been secretly working on next generation console game all along, and they're ready to have it come out. There's a lot of things I think are going to happen where, like I said, I feel like games are going to be announced and they'll come out immediately. I don't know if this Arkham, this new, rumored Arkham is one of those games. I feel like, Rocksteady tried that and, announced in June, supposed to come out, I believe, like October, but then it got pushed to the following June. So it was pushed an entire year, okay? And that's a long, long time. I mean, it was, from when it was announced, it came out a year later. So I wouldn't like to believe it, but I do believe that if the new Arkham game gets announced, say at E3 2020, it wouldn't be coming out until the spring 2021 at the earliest. They would maybe want it to come out in the fall, but delays are still a thing, and it would be pretty sad that we know how many internal delays this game has. We know how many canceled games that this studio has, but it's going to be even more funny if the game does get formally announced and right, it's real and stuff, and then they openly delay it. I think, honestly, that would be just hilarious, and that'll, I feel like, break so many people, but at the end of the day, that is just sometimes what happens in the gaming world. I wouldn't be truly all that disappointed if that happens. I think, if the game comes out, I want the game to be in the best state humanly possible when it comes out. So I do feel like December is it, because if it comes out in December, I feel like this game can come out in the spring to summer of 2020. I feel like that's totally possible. Jeff Keighley, there's the connections there. And the Game Awards in general have always, again, been that thing, and I've talked about in the past. And the only reason I am still worried about it is because of this. The Game Awards, Jeff Keighley's show, has always kind of been a thing where they want it to be the next big thing, or they always say that the next year's show is the biggest thing ever. And then I always feel like I'm disappointed by it. Like last year, truly, this past year, or last December, 2018's December Game Awards, I really thought was going to be E3 level, maybe even better than E3 level stuff. And they announced some games, not really. They announced the Crash Bandicoot, or the Crash Team Racing. They announced that there, which was rumored the day before, so there wasn't any big surprise that day. And really, there wasn't. I mean, I think Death Stranding was shown there, right? Death Stranding's always shown at Jeff Keighley's stuff, but there really, there wasn't a lot of really big name stuff. And so that's why I'm kind of hesitant to be like, well, if this game does get announced at the Game Awards, it would be the biggest thing at the Game Awards by a mile. I truly do believe that. And is that a realistic possibility? Well, when Arkham City got announced back way when, that game was the biggest thing that came out of the Game Awards that year as well. So it is possible. And I feel like if it's announced, it would be the biggest thing, and that's totally fine. At the end of the day, I'm just a little concerned that would it be? Is that the right spot for it? Here's the good news. I feel like if it's coming out of the Game Awards, we'll get leaks and we'll get kind of things, confirmed or rumored out to us leading into it. I feel like this fall is going to be very, very big. Not because we will get an announcement. I mean, that is obviously the biggest thing that we'll get. But also because as we get closer and closer to an announcement, I truly do believe this, like October, November, I feel like we're going to get a lot more leaks, a lot more rumors. And if we ever do, definitely let me know in probably any video you guys want, but especially the Batman videos. Let me know in those, and I will definitely cover any incoming leaks of these games. I'll absolutely do videos on it. I fully plan on doing it and being more, having my eyes open for those kind of things. But I feel like that's what this fall is going to be. It's going to be leaks, going to be rumors about a new Arkham game, and then it'll eventually lead into an announcement, and that'll just be absolutely massive. I'm super excited. I'm super excited to cover it. I cannot wait. I can't wait to cover Batman more and more on this channel. Thank you guys, as always, for watching. I greatly do appreciate it. Leave it in the comments below what you guys think. Is this a Game Awards game? Is there other Batman Arkham things you want me to cover on the channel? And again, any leaks, any rumors that come out over the next couple months, make sure you guys let me know about them so I can cover them in videos. Thank you, as always, for watching. Make sure you subscribe, hit that bell icon so you guys know when these videos go up, and I will see you all on the next Batman Arkham video.